Hey everyone, it's Nathan. I'm back to do another strength training workout. Now I want to apologize for the last few days. I've been really busy. I had an appointment and I realized if I have like any sort of thing where I have to go take public transportation in the city, I can't reliably, I normally I could time it in a way that I could probably get back for things, but sometimes there's just delays that I can't account for. So I'm not really sure, like, should I schedule something in like the hopes that there's like probably an 80% chance that I will, but then there might be a small chance that I won't, disappointing a lot of people when I don't show up? Or should I just play it safe and just like cancel it entirely? I'm not really sure what the best thing to do there is, but anyways, I apologize. Ran into some issues, timing, but we're here today. So I was originally actually going to do this as a paced workout. So I was going to stick to the schedule, but I realized actually there's another routine. I designed 3 full body routines, and so I want to do this third one for the first time. There's some new exercises in there that I haven't done myself, so I'm going to kind of feel into them and see how they work. And so I'm just going to kind of take it slow myself. Let me pull up chat so I see what everybody is saying. My God. I had these mosquito bites probably like 4 days ago on my back. One mosquito, I think, bit me 5 times. Every single one was super big and super itchy, and it's still itchy. It's crazy. I've never quite experienced this. This might be the worst mosquito bite I've ever had. Normally it's gone in like 30 minutes. I don't really feel anything, but wow. So if you see me scratching my back, it's because, these mosquito bites are killing me. All right, let's clean this up. Cat mess. Move that over here. How do we angle this so everybody can see the ground and me? Beautiful. All right, pull up the workout, get the sound on. Find my gloves. Where are they? Nope. 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 Okay. Missing those gloves. I have these other gloves. Oh my God, they're so bad. Look at this. If you can look closely, there's a section where you can see it's shinier. This is underneath. And then on top, what's happening is this whole thing is like microplastic that's just shedding off. So bad. It comes off so easily. So I don't know if I even want to use these, but I'll just deal with it. Some gloves are better than no gloves. Okay, I'll put these here. All right, so I'm gonna pull this up and get started. Oh yeah, and I wanted to say one other thing too. The other day, Monday, I did a workout. I did like a workout information perspective session where I explained everything about how to be efficient with your workouts, right? Like, how to figure out what kind of routines you want to do. What are the different types? You want to do high intensity interval training. You want to do some cardio. What's good for your health? And it took hours. It was insane. I shouldn't even have done that. Again, the goal is to get it condensed down to like 20 minutes. But anyways, also my buddy came on and I kind of got thrown off a little track there. So I didn't get to one of the key things that I wanted to talk about, which is how do you determine how many reps you do, right? The big question is, should you do like 6 reps at heavy weight, or should you be doing like 15 reps at a bit lighter weight? I would say generally, as a general rule, you're going to want to probably do a bit more reps if you're going for endurance. If you want to build muscular endurance, bit more reps, towards like 15, 20 even, maybe even more. If you want to build raw strength, lower those reps. Go down to like 6 reps. So that seems like to be the sweet spot, 6 to 8 or 10 to 15, depending. So for endurance, and also to some extent muscular hypertrophy, which is the size of your muscles, not necessarily the strength, but just do they look big, then you want to probably be doing somewhere in between there, anywhere from 8 to 12 reps per exercise. Now it will vary per exercise, and I think there are differences you'll find when you're doing workouts and you're just kind of going through it. Some call for a few more reps, I would say. I'll call it out when I do them, so you'll have some idea, but when you do it yourself, you'll realize some take well to just doing a few reps, and some take a bit better. You can feel like more of a burn, more of engagement with just doing fewer reps or more reps. So, but anyways, the sweet spot, if you do anywhere from 8 to 12, you're a nice sweet spot there for both strength and hypertrophy. And a little bit of endurance, But like I said before, when you're doing exercises and you want to build muscle, build size and strength, and you're doing like 20 reps or like 25 plus reps, that's the point where you need to change the exercise up and either add more weight or change the variation. So otherwise, you're going to not really be building as much strength as efficiently as you may want to. And again, if you don't really care to be efficient, then you can just do what you want. Again, at the end of the day, you got to craft the routine that works for you. So if you want high intensity, if you want to build as much muscle as possible, well, you gotta have a pretty intense workout, and you're probably going to be working out a long time, probably several hours, probably 4 to 5 times, maybe 6 times a week. As a beginner, maybe only 5 or 4 because you'll need more recovery time. But yeah, but if you want to just take it easy, my physique is the take it easy physique. I'm not, ripped or anything, but I have some muscles. I'm not, so this is like the take it easy approach where I work out 3-4 times a week. I don't like to go like, oh, and like strain myself and pop blood vessels in my head. So you can get pretty darn strong without going nuts. So again, find the routine that works for you. If you really love working out, you just love going to the gym, then by all means, go to the gym 6 days a week, whatever is good for your recovery. And that's the key thing. You don't grow your muscles at the gym. You grow your muscles outside the gym, right? When your body is recovering and repairing itself. So find whatever works for you is the bottom line. We're gonna have a little cat joining us for this workout here. She's doing stretching. So yeah, just wanted to touch on that. So again, I'm going to be doing this guided, so it's going to be a slower pace, right? There's 2 versions. Two versions of my workout. There's going to be the guided version where I kind of take my time. I'm not going to be super strict with the timing of this schedule, and I'm going to show you how to do different variants. If you've never done working out before, that's fine. I'll teach you how to do it right here with everything I know, and I'm going to be exploring some things myself too. I'm not an expert, but I've worked out for probably 15-20 years, various different routines off and on. And so, I have some knowledge I want to share with you, and if other people come on and want to do some other routines, we might get a Pilates instructor very soon. That'll be cool. So we'll see. But yeah, so this will be guided a bit slower. If you're a beginner, this is great for you. And then I think next week I'll start some of the paced workouts. So this is where okay, you have exactly 35 minutes and you got to get to work. So you can't really be taking your time dilly-dallying, and you're already familiar with the exercises. You just want to do a follow along style. So I will just have this timer thing set up, and I'll just be going through the workout, and you just follow me, and it'll be done exactly the time I say it will be done. So That's a different approach, but for now, again, guided, take it a little bit slower, and let's do it. Again, in terms of equipment, now I really like to have gloves, workout gloves, because I use dumbbells, and that, you know, that causes a lot of calluses if you're using a lot of dumbbells. So I'd get some dumbbells or workout gloves. Dumbbells I would get too, not critical. You can get really strong with just basically a pull-up bar and a floor. You know, you can do push-ups, you can do pull-ups, you can do a lot of fundamental exercises, but there's going to come a point where you want to start loading yourself, right? You're doing, you know, whether you're doing like squats or something, you can grab some dumbbells, you can start really putting some load on your hamstrings and your quads. Same thing with biceps, right? If you're just lifting air, you're not going to get too far in life. But you know, you can still get some biceps, for example, just doing chin-ups instead of regular pull-ups. But again, it's just not going to be quite as much. So I would recommend getting, like, you can spend like $150. These things are so cheap for like a set of dumbbells from like 5-pound pairs to up to 25-pound pairs, and then it'll get you really, really far. What else? And that's pretty much it. You can see I have a weight bench here, a flat bench here, and I find that really helpful for certain exercises. But it's not critical. You can do almost all of these exactly the same way, more or less, on the ground. Just make sure you have like a nice mat, or you're doing it on a carpet. This floor here actually has tile on it, so that's why I have mats, because it's not super friendly here. Let me adjust this so I can show people more easily. Figured it out. So yeah, you can see my floor is tile. That is pretty hard. You probably want a mat or something for a lot of exercises, especially exercises that when you're on your back, right? There's a lot of Pilates work that you're on your spine, you're doing something like this, you're doing roll-ups. Definitely want a nice thick mat to protect your body. But you know, otherwise you can do push-ups and stuff on tile. It's not the biggest deal in the world, but don't drop your weights on it, it'll crack. So with that said, let's get started. Let's just start with a nice little warm-up, okay? I'm gonna start with some jumping jacks. I don't have a cameraman. I'm a small YouTuber. I'm a small live streamer, so I actually have to adjust my camera myself. It's crazy. I'm so tall. But let's just start warming up. Oh, let me start the timer so I have like some sense of the time here. And this is just to get your body warmed up, get the blood flowing. Let me know if this is really annoying, by the way. I thought it'd be less annoying than that other thing I use. So when I put this lav mic on, if it's like rustling a lot, maybe I can figure out a different solution. Maybe I can do it like to my hat. That's one way to do it. How about that? Wear a hat. Hey. I haven't. Kick fan Discord? I'm doing high knees now. I have no idea what that is, but I will look it up. I'll take a moment actually to write that down so I don't forget. Actually, I'll see it in chat, but I'll make a note. Discord.gg/kickfam. Oh God, I really hope you're not a spammer. Are you telling me the truth, bro? Tell me what 1 + 3 is in chat, and I'll believe you're a human. Okay, I'm gonna do arm circles. Start small. 1 + 3, bro. If you don't answer that question, I'm not gonna go to your link. Some guy before was nice enough to warn me there's a lot of bots. Ow. Oh God, you're a bot. I thought you were a friendly dude. All right, forward and backward stretch. This is a good one. Oh, really feel into that one. Stretch your whole upper back. Also, how's the volume? I'm gonna have to listen to it afterwards, but it seems like this is probably getting a little bit less rustling on my shirt, so that's a good thing. Spammers. Am I the only one who thinks about why spammers exist, right? Like, I get the sense that there's a lot of just like acceptance. How's that? Is that better? People are just like, spammers. Why is this still going? I press pause. What? I'm mind blown. What is going on? Technology, I'm telling you, killing me. Okay, shoulder rolls. Yeah, there's just so much that people just accept. Things get normalized over time, and it's interesting. Maybe I should do a whole episode, a perspective episode on not accepting things blindly, like questioning everything. I mean, I guess the first episode was already about that sort of identity, wrist rotations. Kind of get the full range of motion in there. But yeah, there's just a lot of things I've noticed that people seem to accept as normal, and then they become okay with it because it's so normalized. They don't really realize the harm or the downside. One such example is actually perfect for Twitch, and related to gaming, which is grinding, right? Grinding in games, like doing some tedious action and spending a lot of your time and energy just to get some like small reward. That's been normalized. Like, it's even worse. And if you go overseas and look at like Asian video games, like Asian MMOs, the amount of grinding that people are willing to do is insane. But it's like so normal, every game does it now, that you must grind your way to get to the top, that it's accepted. That's a normal thing. So people are like completely blind to the harms of that, right? Like, what's the harm of grinding? If someone wants to grind, they can grind. Well, yes, if someone wants to grind, they can grind, but should you be spending like 8 hours a day playing a video game? Yes, like, it's a free country. I mean, if you live in a free country anyways, so if you want to do that, I guess, with your time, you should be able to, but you can't really say that's healthy or really optimal in any way. Like, it's probably good to get some exercise, go outside, talk to your friends, visit your family every once in a while, right? There are decisions that humans can make that are actually bad for them, right? And so, in order to live well, in order to have a good life, there are certain things you probably should be doing besides playing video games 20 hours a day. And so in that sense, yes, you're free to play games as much as you want, you're free to grind, but maybe you shouldn't. And maybe games shouldn't be designed so that they like encourage grinding or basically require grinding in the first place. But again, it's something that's so normal. I got my character, and wow, I'm gonna grind my way to 60. I'm gonna grind my way in Diablo all the way to all the gear and slowly increment my gear ever so slightly more and more and spend 1,000 hours in the game. Like, no, that's not conscientious design. And I'm gonna write a post about this. All right, down to multi-angle wrist rocks. Get on your hands and knees, very gently. Rock forward. Again, extremely gently. You're putting a lot of weight in your wrists, and you just want to slightly stretch your wrists in multiple directions. You can flip your wrists like this, kind of do false grip to fist. Cat cows, okay? We're going to do extension, which is arching backward, and flexion. Our extension is arching backward. Flexion is forward. I don't know. I always get those two mixed up. And then we'll mix it up with some lateral flexion. But yeah, so back to the original statement. Oh my God, look at this, sweetie. Look at this. She's just chilling. She's just chilling. All right. So yeah, normalization is bad, I think, in a lot of ways. Normalizing the chaos and disrespect that people show on social media, right? Normalizing lying, right? That people are lying through their teeth. Normalizing disrespect, normalizing a whole host of things. Temporary break, one moment. Since this is kind of very much a trial run for me as well, whenever I see errors in this, I'm just going to fix them right now. I don't have a lot of viewers. This is very much a practice run for me doing these, because while I've done a lot of these exercises, I don't really have much instruction experience, right? My experience is in engineering, science. So it's one thing to do them yourself, but if you've never taught them, it's going to be a little rusty. And so I have this little list, and I have this timing thing that helps me go through it in a nice pacing. But occasionally I see errors, and I want to fix them right now. It's easier to do it now than later. Oh, it's interesting. Wow. I honestly do not know. I'm going to have to look this up later. If you look up spinal extension and flexion, I was like, okay, I just want to know which is which. The internet doesn't seem to know. That's crazy. If you just go to image search and you see images of forward, bending, backward, and some say flexion is forward and some say flexion is backwards. Wow, that's really interesting. What does AI say? Spinal flexion is forward or backwards? Arching forward or backward? flexion means bending forward, says ChatGPT. All right, let's see what Claude says. Claude says forward. All right. What about Gemini? Okay, 3 AI say it's forward, so I'm just going to go with that. I could still be wrong. Always double check your AI, look it up in some like medical book. But I'm going to assume for now that flexion is forward. Yeah, I'm still getting used to these terms, right? Because again, if you work out, you can learn to do the form, but explaining it to somebody is a whole different story. And so I've been kind of learning a few of these terms, like anterior pelvic tilt, right? That's a mouthful. Posterior pelvic tilt. And that's backwards. Posterior, backwards tilt of the hips. Anterior is forward tilt of the hips. Scapular retraction, right? Pushing your shoulder blades together. Scapular protraction. Push your shoulder blades apart. Scapular elevation, reaching up high. Scapular depression, shoulder blades down. Right? Just learning some of the terms so that it's easier to communicate ideas to people in a consistent way. Of course, a lot of people won't know these terms themselves at first too, but we'll all get on the same page. All right, let us continue with the slow pace. I'm going to do my archer squat or Cossack squat. Straddle rotations. This one's a good one. Stretch the neck, stretch the spine, stretch the hamstrings. All right, we did those. Now let's do some dips. So let me get my gloves on. Where are my other gloves? I wonder. I'll have to look for them later. These ones I got a while back because they have like a lot more wrist support, which can be helpful for certain things, because unfortunately our wrists are kind of small, especially mine. Alright, so if you don't have a dip station, you can just do dips on a table or on a bench, kind of like so. Just put your feet out and do something like that. Grab a chair, lower yourself with control, push up. I'm going to do ring dips, and they're probably among the hardest version you can do, actually. It's very not stable. I need to move this out of the way. also need to adjust this at some point, but I'll work on that later. Wow, those are tricky on the rings there. Dips are a great compound exercise. They're not just like a tricep or an arm. You get your chest. Cossack squat. Kind of did these, warmed up with these. I'm gonna do without weights right now, but in the future we can hold the dumbbell and start weighting them. But I would recommend just doing them without weights at first. If you're a beginner, focus on the form and how deep you can go. You may not be able to go very deep at first. That's okay. I wasn't able to either. Just do something like that. Looks like this is where I should probably angle the camera down a bit, so you can see my wide stance. Now, the way I set up my workouts is so that there are a fixed amount of time that you do exercises. I did recommend that you do counting of reps. If you're a beginner, you're getting into strength training, and I explained that on Monday. Why, you can go ahead and check that video. It's on my channel. But this approach is easier to follow along for most people, so that's why I do it this way. Compact leg lifts or sitting leg lifts. It's basically just get on your booty, put your feet out, stick your arms forward, and lift up. Lift those legs up. Note that you're not really pushing your arms down so much. I mean, I have to a little bit to provide a brace for my legs going up, of course, but you really want to feel it in your core. You can move your arms more and more forward over time to make it easier or harder. Alright, those are pretty hard, but I'm going to try to keep a little bit of time here. I don't want to go too over. I see that it's already 1:38 and we have a meditation session at 2, so I'm just going to keep going. In and out bicep curls. We'll probably run over time a bit. That's alright. There's only 2 spammers watching right now. In and out bicep curls. This is a good one. This one I took from P90X. I'll get on the ground so you can see me better. Just go like this, and then out. In, out. Maybe I need to adopt Tony Horton's personality. Get you guys excited. That's how you become popular. Have a shining personality. Me, I'm just a random dude. I'm nobody. All right. So that was the first part of this quad set. Now we're going to go back to the top and just do everything one more time. Again, with the dips. I need to adjust those a bit, but I don't know if now's the time. But I need to move them a bit closer, which I can't do quite easily. Try that again. There's a lot of crap up here. Maybe I'll... Now what do you do if you can't do a full dip? Well, that's okay. You can certainly assist yourself, right? A little bit of your weight. That's one way to do it. Of course, you go to the gym and there's an assisted dip machine. That makes it super easy. You could also start at an angle. Instead of going straight up like that, you could do basically like a push-up. A lot of the same muscles involved. Again, like I said before, you can do a chair dip, kind of similar. It's a little bit different. Your arms are kind of way behind you. This is one way to do it. But honestly, I would kind of rotate between doing maybe front angled, like leaning push-ups and chair dips, because it's not quite the same motion. All right, we missed the Cossack squat. I'll do that real quick. Again, work on good controlled form. Start with no weight. If you're just beginning this, work on getting low before you start adding weight. Excuse me. And compact leg lifts. So I've been thinking about this live stream. You know, I've got a couple followers. You know, I wasn't expecting explosive growth or anything. But yeah, like how much do I want to invest in, right? Like, do I want to basically spend every waking hour? Like, you can, optimizing your live stream and getting like people over to it. Of course I want it to do well. I mean, not for me. I don't really have any desire to be famous. In fact, being famous, I think, comes with risks in today's world, right? Like, sure, it's nice, everyone, you're famous, everyone knows you. But then, like, you're a target, right? I don't really want to be a target. And I probably will be a target, because I feel like the people who are most aiming are the most hostile, right? I'm not a hostile person, but I have pretty progressive ideas, and I feel like that's going to put a target on my back. But whatever, if it advances the goal of meeting awesome people and building communities and helping people out, you know, that's good enough for me. But with that, you know, I've been thinking about all these things, like what should I do? Okay, should I be making like short form content as well, not just live streams, but maybe I can do some YouTube videos and then like reference people to my live stream from there, you know, like really quick like shorts or something. In and out curls, folks. But you know, that's more work. I've been seeing like what's the good sweet spot. Seems like one short a day. Like what? It would take me like a week to come up with like a short that I'm actually proud of. Not to mention like actual, you know, editing and stuff, which I don't have my DaVinci Resolve with me, the keyboard. There's a little like USB thing it comes with that like unlocks the software somewhere in storage. Also, I've been thinking, you know, looking at fitness influencers, they all shave their chest. You know, I had that phase in my life, right? Like when I was a kid, the pressures of social media and culture convinced me that I needed to shave my chest. And so the moment I got even the slightest amount of hair, 17 or whatever, I started shaving my chest. And I did that like all through my 20s. I'm like, oh, that's what girls want to see. Yeah. But first of all, that was a lot of work. I was like cutting myself. Who wants to wax all the time? I mean, I guess if you have the money, you just go to a salon and you're like, you know, playing your Switch while someone waxes you. Sure, but for all normal people, we have to do it to ourselves. So yeah, it was just like a lot of maintenance, and I realized like I was doing that because I was like convinced by culture that that's what I should do. So for the last 5-10 years, I haven't. I'm fine. This is my chest. It has hair on it. It's natural. It's okay. I'm at peace with it. But the question is, if shaving my chest will make me look sexier and I'll get more views, I'll make the channel more popular, and I can expose my ideas to more people and help more people and build more communities, would I do it? Sure. I mean, it's not just cutting off some hair. I don't care. Pike push-ups. This is a really good one. And there's a very particular form to this one, which I'm still kind of working on because I think I did it wrong for years. You want to get on your hands and feet, kind of go at a kind of an extreme angle, and you want to go forward like this. But it's not about elbows flaring out, and I think that's how I did it wrong for many years. You don't want to flare out. You actually want to keep those elbows tucked and be kind of on the balls of your feet / your tippy toes if you can. If you have shoes on, kind of just be on the tips of your toes. Oh, this is not really one I can do. Oh god, there's some chaos here. Can I do sideways temporarily? Or just fallen? Okay, yeah, I'm gonna have to figure out a better system. Seems like hat doesn't work for all exercises. Maybe if I do a really high angle and then lift my head up. Wow, that's hard. So yeah, wow, that's a really difficult exercise. Pike push-up or pike press. That's one I just added to this last workout that I made. And what a killer one for building delt strength. I'm gonna probably do this workout again on Thursday or Friday, whenever the next workout session is, and really make sure I can get that in. I'm a little conscientious of the time here. Getting close to meditation session. I don't want to go too much into that in case there are actually people who want to meditate. So let's do the next exercise. And that is bent over flies. So you can do this standing up, or you can do it sitting down on a chair, on a bench. Doesn't take much weight. You might even want to just do it with just your arms at first. Have them by your side, and then up. Slow and controlled eccentric. You can explode up if you want. Controlled down. So yeah, a lot of questions I'm thinking about. How do I want to proceed? Given especially what I think is coming in the future, is it all that important to go balls to the wall trying to grow my channel in a matter of a few years? And can I really compete with AI, right? And in the long term, absolutely not. But even in the short term, there are people who have systems that are like super automated. They can like pump out a video. They have like ChatGPT, Sora, whatever, pump out some cool little short. It's only going to get better, right? Those videos now look kind of wonky and goofy, but give it a year, give it 2 years. You'll be able to press a button, you know, type what you want to see. It'll pump out this really cool video. Have AI automatically add subtitles. Generate you a really cool thumbnail, post it to your account. It'd be like no effort. And then the competition will be insane. It'd be like, how could you ever get noticed? So if anything, this is the last moment where we have an opportunity to get noticed naturally, because while you can do that now, we can tell which ones are the AI generated channels for the most part. Glute bridge. This is another good one. Oh, I don't have a cameraman. Gotta point it down myself. You want to get on your back. Not feet too close to the butt, not too far away, just somewhere in the middle. And lift up with your glutes. And really squeeze those glutes. That's what you're activating here. Okay, now just start with your body weight. Don't try to weight it or anything. But very soon after we do this a couple times, I'll move to hip thrusts. And then we can start adding some weight. We can add a little dumbbell right here, because your glutes are huge muscles. You can grow them extremely quickly, add a lot of weight very fast. Like in a matter of like 2 months or less, you can go up like 100 pounds plus. So this is another one I added recently. I've never done this in my life. This one's called the corkscrew twist. It's a courtesy of Jeff Cavalier over at Athlete X. I was just watching a video and he demonstrated this. And I was kind of curious. It seemed like a really good overall core / oblique targeting exercise. I'm going to try to do it. It's literally my first time doing it. He was doing something where like that. That's actually not bad. definitely affects your, holding yourself up requires a lot of grip strength. And that's why I recommended on Monday, in terms of equipment, maybe getting some sort of straps. Everybody has their own preferences. There's a bunch of different types. This is the figure 8 type strap. And it just allows you to grip either dumbbells or a bar or something. I can't do it with these gloves on. And lessens the weight on your forearms, because there'll come a point where you want to start challenging your body, but your forearms feel so weak. You've been holding dumbbells for 30 minutes, 45 minutes, and then you just have to put the weight down because you can't hold the dumbbell, but not because you actually tired the muscle you're targeting. All right, here's that pike press, which I don't know how I can do with this hat on. But, one thing I noticed about the pike for sure. Oh, another dude. Cool. Is in terms of getting form right, don't worry about trying to master it correctly on the first day. Because a lot of times to get like really good form for certain exercises, you actually need to get some muscles first to do the form correctly. I've been noticing it with the pike press. Bent over flies. To do like a perfect pike, like picture perfect pike, if you've never done it before, I think that's pretty hard. I don't know if I can do a perfect pike form. There's just certain muscles up there like that I don't use a lot when I do the pike, that I have to do, like I have to back off a little bit, not maybe do quite as steep angle as I would do in the future once I'm a bit stronger. So in terms of perfecting form, always go towards, that's your goal, but don't expect you're going to get it in day one. And for example, that exercise, the pike press, I think a lot of people are not going to be strong enough to do a perfect pike day one. And so don't look down on yourself if you're like, wow, I can't do this. Not to mention the fact is you probably don't know what you should be doing. So just ease into it, take your time, and really feel into your body. I think that's the key. We're 2 minutes away from the mindfulness session. I'll probably go a little bit over, but we're almost done here too. I think we got, well, actually not. We have a whole nother quad set. Okay, we're going to be way over, so I'm not going to pause anymore. In terms of glute exercises too, actually, I have these leg things that are really helpful. You get a similar effect. I'll show you how I use them. This is what these things are for. I just put my legs through, like so, or my feet through. It's almost like a glute bridge right there. You can really play around with these things, like put your body in new kind of like positions. It's really nice. If there's an expert on how to use these things, like a pro, I hope you can come on and tell me about it, because what I've been just playing around with these things, it's been fun, but I'm sure there's a real technique. All right, corkscrew twist. This one felt actually pretty good. Thanks, Jeff. I've been looking for good core exercises, especially that get the obliques. I'm starting up kind of in a tuck position. I'm not super strong yet, but I imagine if you get stronger, you can kind of go into like an L-sit position. Maybe strong and flexible. That's a good one. Also, I need to finagle with my workout schedule, because right now the reason that I do Mondays and Thursdays, a delayed day where I kind of do afternoon, evening stuff. Well, for one, I want to have my live stream at different times to be appropriate for people with different schedules rather than all at the same time. That's the main reason. But also, I go to the gym myself twice a week. So right now the timing is just a bit weird because tomorrow I'm supposed to go to the gym. But if I work out really hardcore today, I'm probably going to need a rest day. So I have to make this day like a little bit, more chill in general. But also my workout is a bit nuts because on those 2 days, I do the equivalent of 5 days of, I have a normal like upper, lower, and like an extra sort of like weak points day. So I have 5 days in the gym that I condense down to 2. So that's really killer. Like, I don't know if you've tried that before, but I'm really tired by the end of the workout. I can't really put the last like 5 exercises I do really don't see the best performance. So ideally I'd be going to the gym more regularly, but yeah, I'm not stressed about it. I'll figure it out. It's working for me for now. Again, like I said, this is kind of a temporary living situation for me, so I'm not really sure what the long-term plan is, but I don't know. I'm not sure I'll be in New York City. We'll see. Calf raise. So this is really good if you have like a block, a sturdy stepping thing that you can step on. I do not. I mean, I would use this bench, except I'm too tall. So you can just do it from the ground. And most people are going to probably need a little bit of weight. Oh, this is where I need to put the camera down, because I do not have a cameraman. And this is where you're basically just going to do this. Calf raise. You can explode up and then slow down. Now, if you have, again, a block or something you can, go against the edge of, and you can go deeper, that's really nice. Deeper stretch. But calves are kind of notoriously difficult to grow. I do not skip calf day, let me tell you. I do calves all the time. I've been going up a pin weight pretty much every time I go to the gym. And I don't know if my calves meaningfully look that much different. But they are actually stronger, and that I see the weight going up, and I can do more weight every time. But in terms of growing their size, a bit tricky. All right, next up, Arnold press. So palms facing up, we're going to curl up and rotate and then go up. So it's kind of like a dumbbell overhead press combined with a curl. This is kind of a classic, but also in being a combined exercise, and then it basically takes 2 exercises, like a curl and a press, it may lose a little bit of its efficiency. Because if one of those muscles tires before the other, which is inevitable, you won't be able to push that other muscle group as far. Like if my biceps tire and I cannot lift another one, but my delts are fine, I can still do a few more presses, but I can't get the weight up anymore, so I just lose out on that delt activation. But it's a classic. Arnold's a cool dude. I'll keep it in here for now. Alright, overhead tricep extension. I guess I can just keep one of these weights. You can kind of grab the dumbbell in your hands like so, and lift up. It's hard to see what I look like. I need to be shorter. Like so. Feel a nice stretch in your triceps. All right. It's 2:07. If anybody joined to do the mindfulness session, welcome. We'll be wrapping up soon. The last exercise of this final quad set is the horse stance. There's a couple ways you can get this started. You can put your feet together and go out one, like a 45-degree angle, then two, a little bit, it's basically as far as you can there, 3, 4, 5. Wow, socks are not good, very slippery. 1, 2, 2, well, that's pretty wide. 3, 4, 5. Okay. And then just go down as low as you can. I haven't done these in a while. So when I added them to the list, I was like, yeah, I remember these. These are rough. Stand up straight. Weight kind of evenly distributed on your feet. Ooh, and you can go even wider over time. I don't have a lot of flexibility. I'm working on that, but in time you want to go even wider. And you just go as long as you can till it burns. Till it burns. All right, calf raise. Final round. Let's do some calf raises. Okay, some Arnold presses. Yeah. Not a bad workout. I can imagine if I really stick to the timing and the pacing, I'd be a lot more gassed. a lot more tired. Definitely taking it easy, knowing the fact that I have to do a full workout tomorrow as well. If it feels good anyways. But yeah, originally actually I was only going to do home workouts. That's kind of my dream actually. I'm a really big fan of going to the gym. I don't know, just like it in terms of like my motivation to work out. It's so much easier to motivate myself if I just have to like walk to my, another room. Oh, I can just work out right here, boom. But I have to like get ready, do all sorts of stuff. I have to like smell good. You don't want to go to the gym all smelly. You gotta shower, you gotta get clothes on. You can work out in your home naked, in your pajamas if you want. Nope. You're going to the gym, you probably want to clean up a bit, get your shoes on, make sure the cats are fed, and then drive there. How long does it take? 20 minutes? That's another 20 minutes of your time. There and back, 40 minutes. Right? It's just like more of an investment. So I'm a big fan of working out at home. So why, you ask, did I get a gym membership? Well, like I said before, I'm kind of curious about pushing my body to new limits. I've done a lot of home workouts, and I feel like I plateau after a while. And there's no denying that if you have access to a bunch of nice equipment at a gym, like you have a lot more potential to really maximize your gains in ways that are hard to do at a home gym. Excuse me. Horse stance burnout. In particular, hamstrings. Like I said, I'm not the biggest fan of RDLs. I think they're a great exercise and they work for a lot of people, but in terms of building really strong hamstrings, they just don't do it for me. But you know what does? A leg curl machine. Sitting leg curl, lying leg curl. I strengthen my hamstrings so fast at the gym. It's crazy. Horse stance burnout. Just go as long as you can. Even if you hear the buzzer, just keep going if you can hold it. So now that I've gotten my hamstrings like a lot stronger, I can actually probably do a Nordic hamstring curl, like straight up. So I actually bought a belt that'll like kind of tie my feet to this bench, and I'll see if I can do it. Oh wow, my legs are pretty weak. And that's the other thing. Home gyms, I feel like when I work out at home, I do push-ups, I do pull-ups, all the classics, and I do squats, but somehow I just don't really work out my legs quite as much. You can probably see it, right? Like, I'm not the strongest legs, but my arms are definitely stronger looking, relatively speaking. So gym kind of helps me even that out, because there's a lot of good machines there, leg extension, not to mention barbells, so you can do barbell squats. So that's it. We did it. That was the full workout. Not too bad. I'll probably be tweaking here and there, but I'm kind of liking that one, and add some exercises that the other ones don't have to kind of round out this whole full body series that I'm doing. You're looking at my body. I need to put that up again. So if you came here for meditation at 2, that's awesome. Welcome. I'm going to take like just a quick rinse in the shower, 2 minutes, and then I'm going to be back and I'm going to start the meditation. So just bear with me. Appreciate your patience. And yeah, we'll be started soon. All right. See you in a few minutes. All right, I'm back, I'm clean, and ready to get started. Let me get my chair. We don't need to be so high looking at the pull-up bar anymore. I don't know what is straight. Go a little bit down. Deal with these tomorrow. All right. Go back to this tab and close it. Wow, the botters are in full force today. I think I've gotten one of every single type of botter. So mindfulness. So since we're already a little bit past time, I think I'll skip the quote today. There's plenty of quotes and more days that I meditate, so I'm going to run out of quotes actually within a month. But you know, it's a cool exercise for now. Maybe I'll repeat some. But yeah, let's just get started. We'll dive right in. 225, so we should be wrapped up in 325. And I might mix it up here, but we'll just get started for now. All right. Turn into silent mode. All right, we're back. If you were with us the whole time, congratulations. That's another hour under your belt of meditation practice. That was pretty good. If you have anything you want to talk about in the chat, feel free to type it out. For me, yeah, pretty good overall. I was a little bit tired at one point. I noticed myself almost nod off. You know, that's just me and my bad habit of being inconsistent with my sleep. Wow, that's really aimed high. Sleep duration, you know, I got that down. Still too high. It's so important to get the full 8 hours of sleep, but I'm pretty bad at consistently going to sleep at the same time, and there's some health benefits from that as well. But I have this bad habit of working on a project and being like, oh, it's only 11, I can do another hour. Oh, it's only 12, you know, I don't really have a live stream until 2, I can go another hour, and then, you know, 1 hour becomes 2 hours, and I check the time, like, whoa, it's 3:30. That's just not being mindful. So hopefully I'll get better at that. But yeah, so I was a little bit tired, but otherwise it was a good session for me. Until I got up and I noticed that there was a centipede that had gotten trapped in a food container. It's kind of trippy looking. You want to see it? Can you even focus on this thing? How clear is that? Does this thing have auto-focusing? No, it does not. No auto-focusing. That's a bummer. Come on, El Gato. Wait, so really if I put my hand this close, it's focused, right? Kind of. And I put my hand this far away, is it focused? I don't know, so it can't apparently handle this. There's a little house centipede in there that got trapped. It couldn't get out, I guess. Must have gotten there in the middle of the night. And I was like, whoa, and I was just like looking at this guy. He's totally cool looking. All these arms and like individually twitching. It's missing a leg too. Must have been in a battle. Maybe with one of my cats. But I'm gonna set him outside. I'm gonna go free him, wash this container in a little bit. But if there's any questions, any comments in chat, doesn't seem like it. There was something else I was gonna say too. What was it? I don't remember. Yeah, if there's no other comments or questions, then I'm gonna actually make some food. I'm pretty hungry here. Normally I like to kind of eat like right after I work out, kind of fuel my body, and I didn't do that. So I'm gonna go ahead and fix me some food, and I'll catch you guys all tomorrow. See you later.